So I finally found a use for my cup turner, and that's making Christmas ornaments. So I've attached a glass puck style ornament to the turner. I just used some painter's tape to do that. And I'm laying down a base of greens because I decided to do this one with greens and golds and other kinds of things. All right, on to the other side. Laying down some more green just to give it coverage. And you may see some air bubbles there. Don't worry, I'll pop those later with a heat gun. All right, let's get this thing moving. And you can see how the paints are already starting to swirl. But like I said, this is a Christmas ornament. It needs some bling. So I'm adding in some nice old gold. That's what the color is called. It'll dry nice and shiny. And now I'm adding in some bronze. And unfortunately, the video doesn't really show the difference in these two colors, but the bronze is redder than the gold. Sort of like a light copper, I guess you could say. And I'm not particularly caring for how much metallics I put down. I think they're kind of overtaking. So I'm adding in some more greens. Get to that green color more towards the top. And another bunch of green. And whee! Off it goes. All right, so those of you wondering about this, air quotes, wasted paint that's over there on the tray, it is not wasted. I'll turn that into jewelry, fridge magnets, paperweights, all sorts of things. So it will all get used. Don't cry for the, quote, wasted, end quote, paint. And this is going to turn for about 8 hours until it's dry enough to stop. All right, this is about 2 hours later. You can see how the colors have kind of flowed, made this feathery type of pattern to it. You may also have noticed that nipple that's at the end there, and that has to come off. I once let it go all the way with the nipple, figuring it would resolve itself at the end, and it didn't. It just left the nipple. So I'm grabbing my palette knife and just scraping it off, and I'll do that every so often during the entire process. And this is a few hours later yet. You can see the paint is starting to dry in spots. And here's the finished product. Now you can see the difference between the bronze and the gold. And I'm really liking the way this pattern came out, especially there. Thanks for watching.